The citizens themselves must begin to act. The residents' associations must begin to act. Otherwise, we'll be punished by these sell-by-date politicians, by these people who should be retired, who cannot simply read acts that they are being given their custody. Right now, the provincial councils that needed to be constituted have not been constituted. Councillors are not being sworn in. Where they are being sworn in, the ministry itself puts out a circular to prevent the councils from meeting. We have received incessant phone calls from officials of councils, the legal departments, non-accounting officers, junior officers, who expect citizens and mayors to jump. They phone our officials to instruct them not to hold meetings. They phone on a daily basis. We've got PDCs, an unconstitutional structure of government, that phone every day, that call senior council officials, mayors and councillors to their offices outside protocol and give instructions on a day-to-day basis, which instructions are meant to punish and cripple service delivery. So, in short, we require that the citizens walk with us in this path. We are going to meet this challenge head on. Yes, it is a temporary challenge. We've got options, and we've got the law on our side, and we've got the electorate on our side, which put us to deliver a particular mandate. And we are going to make sure that we exercise all our options to deal with these things. We'll ask, of course, the residents and the citizens to have patience as we deal with this challenge that has been presented by the Minister of Local Government. But it is illegal. So today, as we go to the weekend, when you hit a pothole, know that it is July Moyo who is interfering in service delivery. When the green bombers fly into your house, know that it is July Moyo under ZANU-PF who is preventing committees of councils from working. When the sewage is overflowing, know that it is July Moyo who is preventing the councillors you elected from dealing with that sewage. When you see rubbish and the trucks not moving, know that it is July Moyo and this circular that is preventing the committees of councils from working. And we must visit the fault and the blame where it lies. We are here, we are available to deliver the services. We have been elected to do so, but we are being prevented from setting up committees and dealing with the leadership question of the councils where we have been elected into. Thank you. Thank you. The score is that July Moyo and his ministry have prevented the elected councillors for a month to take up their duties. They are sitting because of the actions of the Ministry of Local Government. In Kwekwe, after a month, they've not been sworn in. In Chipinge, they tried to hold a meeting yesterday. The DDC, or whatever he calls himself, came into that meeting and started chairing a council meeting against all laws. He came and sat in, and not only did he sit to observe the proceedings, he came to chair as the mayor of Chipinge Town Council. Where does that happen? In Harare, we have not sat for a month because they are preventing us from constituting the committees. Not a single committee has sat. When we wanted to sit yesterday, he hurriedly issued a circular to the whole country to say they must not sit, quoting a wrong law, Section 114 of the removal of councillors and mayors and deputy mayors. What is the removal of councillors and deputy mayors to do with the sitting of committees of council to do service delivery? He has prevented, there is chaos countrywide. I am the point person for local government for CCC. I've been receiving calls from councils all over the country saying, what do we do now? We were supposed to hold our first meetings yesterday and today and next week and beyond. They have now been prevented from doing so by the Minister of Local Government himself. He does not want people to meet. He is punishing citizens for voting against ZANU-PF. They are angry. He's a bitter old man, working with other bitter old people. They're just preventing councillors to do. It is painful. Why I'm speaking a bit emotionally is that elections and the issue of service delivery is an emotive issue. Residents nearly assault councillors on a daily basis. It's an emotive issue to a resident to see sewage walking or competing with him every morning. Rubbish, green bombers, diseases and everything. It's emotive. So we have one person seated in an office, writes a memo that the whole country must not meet. The whole country must not change councils. We are not having meetings because of one man who cannot read the law and signs letters and stops the whole country from functioning to provide service delivery. That is unconstitutional and cruel. We are planning, we have a variety of platforms. That's why I mentioned we have parliamentarians in parliament. They are going to raise it. Our parliamentary caucus is going to raise it at question time with the Minister of Local Government, and a motion is going to be put so that a committee be put to investigate these actions. We are going to go to court on an urgent basis, and we do hope that the judiciary and everybody else and every stakeholders that we are going to approach understand that they also live in these cities and that we have to comply with the law. So we will go to court. And we are also going to instruct our councillors and our leadership in the cities to continue working so that if they are punished, they will be punished for working. They will reconstitute the leadership of council. They will reconstitute the committees. They will proceed with the meetings that are necessary for service delivery. If the Minister of Local Government decides to suspend them for that, then so be it.
No, thank you. That's a very important question. I'll respond to it because it speaks to our broader national program as an alternative. Look, the challenge that we face is not a challenge between political parties. The fight is not between the Citizens Coalition for Change and ZANU. The fight is between a clique of an elite, a cabal in ZANU-PF against the people of Zimbabwe. These are councillors given mandate by the people of Zimbabwe. If you hear the mayor, he spoke around the question of the political intention to punish the people of Harare in particular and other urban areas for voting against the regime in Salisbury. So what you see at the present moment is a deliberate political program against ordinary people. And in terms of, and I'll answer that also to add on what he has said around our program of action. We are raising this because this is an urgent issue, and we thought that the media must be able to know the kind of challenge that we are facing so that we unpack to you our program, political program, legal program to deal with the mess in council. But it doesn't stop us. You saw that a few days ago, we're in Harare East to deal with the question of service delivery. So what we have done in the temporary basis is to make sure that we give an instruction to all our deployees, whether they were elected or not, that the service delivery agenda is primary to our Citizens Action for Change program for 2022. So that's why we are going in communities, because we are community leaders, we are deployees of ordinary people. I don't need a mandate from July Moyo to participate in community refuse collection program, which we have made sure that we begin to unroll across the entire country to deal with that question. But you know that there are limitations to what we can do as citizens, because you need council trucks, you need all those kind of things from council. We're also going to be continuing, of course, with our program to make sure that cleanups are held on weekly basis across the entire country. But the health program is a priority for us in the Citizens Coalition for Change, but also to understand that the executive tyranny that has made council dysfunctional will not stop us as citizens leaders, as community leaders, in terms of making sure that we provide service for our people. But the people are in desperate need of service provision. The people are in desperate need of a program to make sure that we deal with road rehabilitation. But you know that citizens' effort have got a limitation. That's why we can only do so much as a leadership collective. But also we are conscious that we must deal with the mess in central government so that executive powers are returned to council, so that council becomes functional, so that council can return and execute its mandate given for by ordinary people. ZANU wants to have this narrative that no, look, there are potholes, there is no water, there are sewages, and it's a CCC government. They are dysfunctional. Those elections, ZANU wants them to be rituals that are held from time to time without respect of the will of the people. So that's a political and national problem that we face. You saw it in council. At the present moment, they are doing the same in parliament. They want to render parliament dysfunctional so that the executive becomes law unto itself, render the judiciary dysfunctional, render the legislature dysfunctional. So the principle of separation of powers at the present moment does not work in Zimbabwe, which is a constitutional thing, which we must just respect. Let parliament do its work, let the judiciary do its work without interference, and let the executive do its mandate. Once we do that, we know that we've got a constitutional democracy, not just in theory, but in practice. So that is the nature of the problem, but it doesn't stop us as a leadership, citizens, collective movement to do our moral and political responsibility to deliver change.
Issue. You cannot give an order to a council employee as a councillor because we are ceremonial. The only way a city, a town council can function is through a committee. That is the law. Once you operate outside committees, you are committing a criminal offense. People must understand that systems, for this thing to work, systems must work. A committee must sit. A committee brings out a recommendation and a resolution. A council endorses it. A committee provides the executive function. If you are not sitting in a committee, you cannot rock up to a council employee and say, hey, you do this, hey, you do that. That is illegal. You should read the Urban Councils Act and the Rural Councils Act. So we want to operate within the framework of the law and what we need to do. We cannot be held to ransom because people made some resolutions to allocate or to give themselves contracts illegally. Then they paralyze councils, the whole country. Let that function. We want to function.
Thank you very much.